is about to get wild. We've got true crime tales and a mischievous smile. More life chaos, the highs and the lows, laughing through the madness. Anything goes. It's talk time with Amy Boston and Kelly Farrell. Fun nights and stories we're telling. Everyone's welcome. Grab your drink, come run. We love true crime, real life and fun, and free care and rejoice. Interviews, confessions, and a little bit of sass. Laughing till we're breathless, letting troubles pass. From Mom Squad missions to mysteries at night. Grab your crew, settle in, it's a wild ride. It's talk time with Amy Boston and Kelly Farrell. Fun nights and stories we're telling. Everyone's welcome. Grab your drink, come run. He love true crime, real life and fun. Hell, it's free can read y'all. Yeah, it's talk time with Amy Boston and Kelly Free Karen Reed.
Hey,
it's our faces.
I know you guys have seen us in the screen all week. We are not Wizard of Oz. We do come out from behind the screen.
Right. I do have a face.
Kelly was looking rough this week. Let me tell you,
girl. I was okay. So I was in the living room with Caden after this whole thing, and we're playing monster trucks. By the time, next thing I know, I'm waking up on the floor next to Caden, and he's like, "Mom, I need a juice box." We both like passed out.
Yeah.
Oh man, we both needed a nap.
My kid. Well, I got my oldest, or my 20 Connor, my 23-year-old came over, and Olivia was here, my 19-year-old daughter, and they were playing that pie game at the table with Declan, and I'm like, it was so loud in here the last half an hour of the stream that I'm like, I can't hear. All of you guys need to be quiet. What is going on? Like, I was so excited. I'm like, they get home and it's like they're 12 years old again. So,
bro, it's like it's that overstimulation where you're just like, my sister's here. Oh, Lori. That's my sister. Oh, this is your other sister. That's my sister.
My sister,
yeah, let's all welcome Lori.
She's like, who the hell is this girl?
Hi,
Kevin
from Ireland. My soul sister from my Alabama Slammer sister. Who else we got?
That girl right there. She found me on Facebook recently.
Hey,
Natalie. Wayne's
yeah,
here.
man.
Wayne was here.
And we got Melanie. Good to see everybody. I know Bettero's on, and who's he on with? I forget. Carl?
Bettero and Carl Steinbeck are on with Young Jerks. I was actually listening
to for being here. Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Source and Feral Fun.
Our other little Melanie, he's here. I have to call her Hate. I feel bad calling her Hate, but I have to call her because we have so many Melanies.
Yeah, I know her as Hate. So I just like
Hate. Yeah. You're Hate. But we don't really hate stuff.
Can we just like decompress from this week? This week has been absolutely wild. As if this case couldn't get more tragic, more corrupt. Like, there's going to be a RICO case.
It's so...
Even if these motherfuckers didn't know that they were a part of a RICO case, they are now. And Bukkake took the hit. He took the L for everybody. For Brian Albert Bukkake, how did that feel?
So I think what happened is, like I was telling you earlier, I think, and thank you for that, Kevin. That was so sweet. Blessed art thou among women. Lucky dude. You were so...
We love you, Kevin.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't think he understood what was happening, but I think Hank set him up to take the fall because for me, Proctor was the scapegoat, right? I've said that since the beginning. Did he deserve it? Yes. Did he do this? Yes. But he was a scapegoat. There's a lot more people involved. And so I think because they're trying to distance themselves from Proctor. Oh God.
We have a Drew K. Oh, and Mark's in the house. Mark, get out of my windows. Stop watching me dress.
Stop following me around, for God's sake. I swear to God.
Oh my God. We got my girl, Drew K. Me and her have been modding on other true crime channels for a dog's age together. And she found my channel randomly. How weird is that?
She's like,
she popped in this morning. Yeah. In Tar Heel, too.
We're going to talk about it. I have it on my computer, too. So, so they had, I think that they chose to make, since they were distancing themselves from Proctor, because they don't want to bring Proctor up. Hood bugger.
We got the hood bugger. Yeah, I think that Bukkake, in the middle around lunch, he started to realize what was happening, and he was like, "I ain't lying for nobody. I'm not doing shit." And he decided,
and he fell right into it.
Yeah. And I think as soon as he started realizing that he was the downfall of all of this, he just started like, all right, if that's what you're gonna do, I'm not even gonna fight them. Because remember this morning he was having words with Alan Jackson. Was it this morning or yesterday? I can't remember.
Yesterday.
All my days are hi, baby.
How old are we at dog years? I ain't telling you that because you know how old I'm old.
I'm old. I'm not quite as old as my sister though.
Hey, Lori, do not let her talk about my sister like that.
She's a twin though.
Okay, they're driving crazy. Lori, I will not let her talk to you like that. Don't talk to my sister like that. I will smack you.
But she's like 5 foot and has blonde hair and beautiful blue eyes. We look a lot different.
Nothing alike.
We look like we were related next to each other, but we look very different. Yeah.
Dee Marie is here. Look at
Dee Marie.
She found her peoples and been here every day since. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you guys. Let me show you something real quick.
Oh, so the big courts in Boston told Bev to calm the fuck down and fix the buffer zone.
Well, they said they had to go back to the lower court who denied it first, and then now he's got to be the one to fix it. We'll see how fixable he really is.
Well, they strongly suggested that he fix it. Yeah. And to wear Karen Reed gear and signs.
Yep. Because it's a violation of the First Amendment. Like everyone said this whole time, and I think it'll shut down the police, the MSP too. They won't be so aggressive. Like poor Boston Brandy, man, she got slammed.
Boston Brandy and Erica
playing peekaboo with a little girl, and because Hank walked by, and Hank the video shows Hank even laughed, and she wasn't doing it to him, she was doing it to a little girl. So like, come on, like that's a little too far. But the guy was like, give me your ID right now. So,
it's our Dennis. Hi, Dennis. How are you, honey?
My love.
It's good to see you. We're gonna be able to see him closer to the courthouse with his flag.
I know,
standing up for justice, our man. Yes,
Dennis, I love hearing you down there every night, and I
he's
love
so awesome, and his wife.
That we're streaming them now, like streaming. We stream Resistant to Silence and Alternate Corner in the mornings. I love it because now I can watch them at the same time and not feel like I'm going back and forth between different streams because
or have like multiple tabs open. Yeah.
My poor phone is like, where are we going today? What is
my
happening?
phone's hot by 8 a.m. Yeah.
My computer today. Look what I got.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama. Happy Mother's Day to all my mothers in chat.
Huh?
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day to all our moms in chat.
Moms and dads that are mothers too.
Yeah, my sister's in here, and we're gonna spend Mother's Day together with our other sister and our mom, and eat lobsters and spend some time together. So it'll be nice.
Lobster.
I know. I'm hooking them up.
I ordered myself a chocolate milkshake because that's my treat. What are you talking about? So I have to say, Dennis, Brenda's speech the other day at the select board meeting was by far the best speech I have ever heard anybody say yet. Even she's had some good ones, but this one was I have to pull it up too because this one was good. But so everyone wanted to go over this one real quick while we have it up.
We're gonna go over Brenda's.
I'll pull it up so you guys can watch it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
But I wanted to see if I could do this. But I don't know if it's gonna let me pull it up any bigger. There we go. So this one says that they have to go down to the. Here, let me pull up on my. I can't see. I'm so blind already, and I can't. My glasses when they're far away, so up close, it's like what in the heck?
I wear contacts, and my allergies are so bad they won't even like get in my eyes, and that's why I have these things on. They're just not the same.
Let's see. Cancel that. Cancel that. Open that. Okay, so it basically says the trial court of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Beverly J. Cannoni goes down with that. Defendant appellee's judgment entered May 9th. This cause came before and heard on the appeal from the United States District Court of the District of Massachusetts and was argued by counsel. Upon consideration whereof, it is now here ordered, adjudged, and decreed as follows. The district court's denial of preliminary injunction is vacated and matter is remanded for further proceedings consistent with the opinion issued this day. No costs are awarded. So basically, it's going back down to the original judge that they saw. And he's basically been told, I didn't go through all the papers. That's just the main order.
He was gently told to smarten the fuck up.
Yeah. Gently told
to as he should.
It. Yeah. Knock it off.
The fuck up. Yep. So hopefully that's taken care of, and all of our buffer zone people will go back to what they do, and every morning to the audacity of them to put them where they have. When I tell you it's so far. What?
They're not even loud. They've never been loud.
No. Yeah, I just but this is par for the course for Beverly Cannoni, right? This is what she wants. This is what she does. It's they're taking, not only are we watching this amount of corruption in my own backyard. I know that you're in Florida, but nonetheless, you stand shoulder to shoulder with us. In our backyard, we are watching this like
wait, but I'm there.
I like I said the other day, it's like a toxic relationship with a person that's gaslighting us and just telling us we're crazy. Yeah, and we're watching. Look at Yuri Buchanan on that stand today. That was a disgrace. He is a disgrace.
I can't believe that like Hank and people. I mean, even people on X are like, it's over. Like even people, like antis are saying, like,
it's done.
He did horrible. He did.
Well, how was he supposed to do good? Because he once he figured out that he was the patsy, the only one that was going to testify. And when I'm sure when like Alan Jackson got up there and started asking him about Brian Albert and Michael Proctor and he was like, "Why are you asking me that?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, why not? And then after lunch.
Thank God they figured out that they're not going to call all those people, because now they're making him testify for all of them.
Bro, he gave up and he just started agreeing with Alan. Like, yep, that happened. Yep, that happened. I'm floored about the whole Chloe thing. So Hank got up there and told us that Chloe was found, and it was researched and investigated, and we have this and we have that. Bro, the dog doesn't even have the same name.
Her name's
the
Cora.
The owner didn't get the dog. No vet record. She didn't get the dog from the Alberts, but a third party. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, like, supposedly she was rehomed twice. Like, I'm trying to bring up
and then you change a adult dog's name. Who does that? Who does that? I've never heard of an adult dog being adopted because said family couldn't take care of it, and you change its name.
said family knew it was gonna eat somebody to death.
Uh,
I'm trying to pull up Brenda's thing, but
hi, Brenda.
say we love her too. I'm
Yeah,
trying
we
to bring
do
up
love
her
her
movie
too.
right now.
Keep showing up.
I'll look for it in another place, but I
Poor
have
Cora. Cora didn't hurt anyone. She's the faux Chloe. You know, and then there's dental records and there's this and that, and it just so happens that Yuri Buchanan forgets to put the owner's name.
Yeah, and address.
If he doesn't get his job taken,
Boy,
just for being a non-supervisory officer, you should know what the people who work under you are doing at every second of the day. And instead, he's bringing shit to Proctor. He is helping. He is assisting. I don't know what he knew, but he's complicit. He helped him. They were boys. They were partners. My favorite part was when Alan was like, "How do you think Proctor did with this case?" You know, former trooper, and he was like, "He handled this with professionalism and integrity." Fuck out of here! Like, how did you say that with a straight face, sir?
How integrity came out of his mouth? Like, integrity. I have no idea. Like that? No. That does not come out of your mouth.
Right. Dennis just said if he worked in Canton, he'd be promoted. I mean, he works at the DA's office and they keep helping them out. Dude, Morrissey must be shitting himself.
Oh, and then the fact that Aiden just got access to Morrissey and Kate's records.
Right.
Like what?
Right. Shit's about to go down. Everyone's about to start looking real bad. And you know what, too? The day that Karen is proved not guilty and she gets to go home and redo her life, I hope these motherfuckers get arrested by the feds. The feds are watching. Yuri, the feds are watching. The DOJ is watching you. They watched all of yesterday and all of today and know the truth. And I heard that when they were going over the waterfall video and they were going over every part of this, right? Like the jury was laughing and shaking their heads and putting their head back like, you got to be fucking shitting me. This is a younger crew.
They said it's a lot younger.
A lot younger. Amen. Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense because, and the fact that, I mean, yeah, she was drinking. She admits she was drinking, but they all look at those texts. How many times did I say, man, that they need AA?
Bro, all of them drink all the time. Okay. And first of all, Brian Higgins and Brian Albert went to another fallen police officer's funeral in New York, drank all day and drove home 4.5 hours drunk and then continued to drink. So who the fuck are they? You know, don't throw stones in a glass house.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm looking for
driving under the influence using a government car. Absolutely. Wait, that's not the one. Uh-huh. That's right. He did. And I love how they brought up the fact that why didn't you get anyone else's phone records? You didn't go in the house? You didn't do anything?
Yeah, although Hank did win that one where he was like that with you, but he already got it out, so they heard it that Brian Albert destroyed his phone.
Oh, it got out? I didn't hear that.
He said, did you guys know that Brian Albert did you know that Brian Albert destroyed his phone? And that's when he was like, skirt, no.
Swerve!
Not about that.
Yeah. So we just pulled up the the decision, and they're going to go back down to the lower court. And that judge told the Dedham court to smarten up, and you guys might be able to wear your free Karen Reed stuff, Dennis, and your flags and the signs, because they took our First Amendment away. They literally stripped us. We're the ones paying the consequences for the state of Massachusetts employees' bad behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah, Microdot's last video.
For what?
Did you watch it on Patreon though, honey? Yeah.
I did not watch the Patreon.
I did.
I was looking.
We can't play it on here because it's on Patreon, but when it comes out on YouTube, we'll definitely play it. I don't want to do that to Microdots. He's awesome. Yeah. Dennis, we live in North Korea. Are you shitting me? What is happening? Oh, it is on YouTube now?
What is?
Listen, if you come up here, I'll wear a Jets jersey. It's on now. Okay.
We'll send you a link. What you want to do?
Who wants to come up?
Oh,
and my PD, do you want to come up?
Well, we got whoever wants to come up. I'm just trying to find.
I'll put it in the chat.
The select board meeting from this weekend or this week, because for some reason I can't. Let me send it again. Let me send it from my phone again, and then we'll have you
fine.
For a second. I just want to show people Brenda's badass speech, because I got up. I got up in my own house.
I will say that I wear my free Karen Reed gear everywhere. I live in Norfolk County. I live about 20 minutes away from Canton, and the local police here, every time they see me, they give me the nod, so they know. They know. They're not stupid. Maybe not all of them, but the ones that I do see are like supportive, and they're like,
Okay, so I have it. Well, thank you, baby.
Hi, Steve.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
The husband says hello.
Hello, beautiful people.
Thank you.
Steve.
I love you.
Have fun, beautiful people.
Right. Brenda is amazing. Yeah, Natalie. This is my homegirl, and she knows. We go to the standout together here in Franklin, and they drive by. They put their lights on. They've done a bunch of stuff, and it's amazing that they can see it. They're not stupid.
Ooh,
Marie, where'd you go?
It says not connected.
Oh, honey, you got to close out whatever browser you're using and try again.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, guys. Am I up there?
How are you?
You are. I can hear you.
Yay!
Hi.
Oh my gosh, I need you guys. Talk me off the ledge,
girl. I had to take a nap after
all
today.
on the ledge together. We're just gonna end up holding hands and jumping in at this point.
You guys, I took a nap from 5 to 7, woke up exactly at 7, and I'm like, okay, that's the sign. Because I wasn't sure if I could get on here because I was legit so freaking my blood pressure all day, but then laughing. So anyway, I'm here.
Yeah, we have a great chat, man.
Can I tell you guys something crazy?
Sure. Yes, we love
I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
I personally know the Nobles.
Jeff really?
Yeah, I grew up with his wife, and and how's that
gonna happen?
What's that?
Like, what's gonna happen with that? Like,
well, I can't. Like, she can't talk to me, but like I flipped out about it, and she was like, and his wife was like, she can't really say anything, But Jeff is all I know is that Jeff. He was a state trooper in New Jersey, and personally, I've known him for 20 years.
Oh yeah, he came from New Jersey, right?
Yeah, he lives.
Yeah, that's right.
They live 20 minutes from me. They've been like we used to hang out and stuff.
That's like that. And too, he has cleaned up since he's gotten here. He's like,
I'm telling you, Jeff is, and I don't know if you guys remember, like back when he was first coming on, I know like Nurse Kim and Dave were like, oh, we don't know about Noble and all that stuff. And I was always in the chat saying like, please just give him a chance. And, you know, and I don't know, but like, you know, I congratulated him through text, you know, when he first, you know, was the whole family moved up there, you know, or down there or up there, whatever. So anyway,
up there, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
just
they're
don't,
like,
I don't think he knew what he was getting into with it.
exactly. Like
my
I'm,
humble opinion.
yeah.
From our
Oh, here she
Select Board
goes.
Administrative
Got
Code,
it.
the
All
board
right.
recognizes that it both
Let me
represents
see. Hold
and is
on, I gotta
accountable
get
to all
to-
citizens of the town. It's time to
Is
establish
it
policy
playing?
holding
Let's see.
leadership
Hold on. All right. I don't know if we can hear it. Hold on.
accountable. We want consequences, keyword consequences, for elected and appointed
can't hear it,
positions in
can we?
town, enforceable
Yeah, I
by
can.
policy.
You can hear
The
it?
reprehensible behavior of the police audit committee
Okay.
chair, Bob McCarthy, was an absolute
Can you guys
total
hear it?
disgrace. Shame on
Yeah.
the former and current
Okay.
board members that played a part in that. Shame on Randy Scollins who appointed him. And let's not forget the role town council played in that debacle either. Mr. McCarthy's behavior is a direct reflection on all of you. And spare me the cock and bull story, nobody could do anything about it. That was your intention when you manipulated the article. 323232 sound familiar? What a disgrace. Commitment, decorum, and accountability are paramount and need to be formalized into policy. Not a vote by your buddies and sorry we couldn't do anything about it, but consequences driven by policy. Mr. Alberts missed 20% of these meetings since his election. That lack of commitment is unacceptable and needs to be addressed. We also witnessed Mr. Albert threatening physical harm to a restaurant patron and laughing with a gang of thugs in the process. That event itself warrants automatic dismissal. Your apology was full of excuses without accepting responsibility, Mr. Albert. What a joke. You don't get to play the victim card. The only victim was the person you threatened. Public pressure is part and parcel of being a public official. If you're so stressed out you're lashing out, you shouldn't be making decisions that affect the lives of 25,000 people. The position requires effective leadership. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. We're protesting in Canton Center for Mr. Albert's resignation until he's gone, one way or the other. His support system's crumbling with Theodore and Conley gone. Helena has one foot out the door, and don't bother looking to Mr. Loughran for help. He's the next failed leader on our bucket list. There's been decades of intimidation while leadership did absolutely nothing. The power of our voice and our vote says those days are gone. We're not your kids, we're not your employees, and we're not your subjects. We're the citizens that pay for this room, this building, and every single item on every single agenda in this town.
Get it,
Open
girl.
meeting law demands respect. This board is accountable to the citizens and has a duty to implement formal policy requiring accountability with consequences for all town officials ASAP. Welcome to Canton's pep rally. We're here to remind you that gavel is not a crown. Everyone sitting in those chairs acts appropriately or they lose their seat, period. And we won't lose any sleep over it. Remember, we're the Terminators. We'll be back again and again.
Yay! Yo, she's such a G. I want to be Brenda Sweeney when I'm older. Like I want to be. She's my spirit animal.
I love
Is
that.
Dennis
I love
still in the
that.
chat?
Yeah.
Dennis, can I be Brenda when I get older?
Can she adopt me?
Guys,
Yeah.
real quick though, I didn't want to like. I was just saying like so I'm so invested in this because I personally know, you know what
The
I'm
Noble.
saying, and
Yeah.
like, and I know that like he is all I can say is like he's an amazing. He was a he's just amazing, Jeff. He really is. And I'm like, I've been like, I was flipping out when I heard about it because I've been invested in this case forever, but I'm like enraged and I'm like scared for people's families, if you know what I mean. Like it's
Right. I remember when he first got hired on here, and I remember everyone's like, "Oh, he was such a tyrant, New Jersey. He's gonna come in here." No, we need that. Give us all of that. That's exactly what we need. And he has. He's come in and done his job.
Out of Proctor too. He made an example out of him.
Yes.
Yep. Fuck out of here.
And you know what? I think that you can that pussyhead.
Bukaki?
Yeah, he was like.
Did you just say pussyhead?
Yeah, I don't know whatever came out of my mouth. Yeah,
Bukaki.
I don't think before I speak.
I love you.
But yeah, the whatever that pussy cock was up there today, like he's got to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he still has a job. He might not anymore. Not after this.
I know.
Hey,
I know,
Coco.
but it
Well,
sucks
they
'cause I
did
can't.
this. They did that little fake investigation before. This was before Colonel Noble came on or whatever. But they did that little, AI investigation that said that basically he got 5 days taken away of my paid PTO. Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, cry
Um,
me a fucking like
How
I
about
just
Gallagher? How about Gallagher getting up on the stand and saying that Kevin Albert was his best detective?
oh
Oh
Your
my
best
God.
detective who was out down the Cape in a
I
cruiser getting shit-faced and lost his badge and gun.
I mean
That's your
honestly,
best?
if this jury finds her like guilty
Anything
or
but
if it's a
unguilty. Yeah.
mistrial, like people are like go fucking hide everybody
Girl,
because
I think it's over. It's over.
It's
to
over.
me.
Yeah,
I
after
really-
today, it's over.
I
It's
hope so.
very-
It's scary. How much longer do you guys think they're gonna go? Like this is can't some this is
I
like seriously. I don't know much
I
about
will
the law,
say
but like can can't that dude just be like, all right, I like just arrest me? Like someone needs to surrender.
they
Hank
won't.
needs to
They
be
won't.
like, dude, I'm done.
They're running until the
Yes.
wheels fall off. They run until the wheels fall
I
off.
did add the chat.
I
link
think
in
it was actually more effective one person telling the whole story. They
True.
made you.
No,
They
no,
made
what-
Yuri get up there and
Yep.
tell him every single part from everybody's point of view because he had to get all of the. Even though he wasn't the. Oh, he was a team player, but
Hey,
he didn't
Robbie.
have everything. But because he was Proctor's supervisor, he had access and was on warrants and things like that. So they got to introduce every single piece of evidence through Yuri. And I
Yep.
think it was way more effective than having those assholes up there.
You're absolutely right. And like it
It
was
is.
although it was like I was just like I can't even with him reading the
it-
text messages. It was on like I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
It was streamlined. Although my computer yeeted those messages for everybody. My computer was like, turn off. I'm like,
I know that
okay.
was funny.
I was like, I'm trying. Oh my, wait, hold on. I'm turning it back on real quick. My
Yeah.
computer was like, hell no, I am done with this.
Yeah. But I just
so
wanted
I
to
was-
say hi. I'm gonna get back in the
Yeah.
chat because I don't even know how
Thank
this
you for
works.
coming up with us. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love all of you
You're
guys.
welcome
You guys are
anytime.
saving me. I'm going through some shit right now, and this is giving me life. But yet
Yes.
high blood pressure. But then you guys make me laugh, and I need you guys. I love you.
we love
Bye.
you too.
Thank you for spending
love
this with
watching
us.
you.
Absolutely, I'll be on here. Love you guys. Bye.
All right.
you
Bye.
too.
Mwah.
So the one thing I put
Oh, that
on,
was nice.
I know she's so sweet. I love her. She found me on TikTok. That's how we found each other.
Right? She's a TikToker. Babe, hold on one second.
You're fine. So I put on X yesterday. It says the one constant name that keeps coming up in this case over and over again and again is Jen McCabe. No matter how the story twists, no matter what the details come to light, her name is always there. So what was Jen McCabe's role? What does her name keep resurfacing? And why isn't anyone demanding answers? It's not a coincidence, it's a pattern, and patterns matter. Remember that name, Jen McCabe. She is the one that is she's
The ringleader.
So she's the one name you heard every person say.
Everybody. I'm just a soccer mom. I was just looking at Hockenbach.
normal
Fuck out here,
mom.
Jen.
That reminds me of like Mean Girls when she's like, I'm not a normal mom, I'm a cool mom.
I'm a cool mom. You can't sit with us. She's totally that
Right.
girl too. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
I would never be able to hang out with her.
No. I have I'm not like really like I stick out like a sore thumb in the parent line for preschool. There are, I can tell like those like moms, and then there's some really cool ones. Yeah,
we were
a
all
sucker mom.
I was always the youngest.
So I am 40 with the 4-year-old, and so I am one of the oldest.
Yeah, but you don't look it and you
What?
don't act it, so it doesn't matter.
TV in a
I'm gonna go help Kay for a second. I'll be right back.
No problem. So, what is something that you guys want to talk about this week that was the biggest takeaway that you have? What is something that is you guys want to talk about? You're the youngest. That's great. Oh, look, I wore my Def Leppard shirt for everybody. If anybody is a, Generation X and like Def Leppard. The minute tasker at meeting. Oh yeah, the thing is she thought she had. I think they thought that Yuri would just like do it and say it, but he sucks at lying. Like my 9-year-old lies better. You want to watch the new Microdance video? Okay, my 9-year-old lies better than Yuri did. Like, come on, I can't even. I just don't. I like this whole week has been just crazy to me. So let's see.
I'm back.
With Microdots, you have to check both of his pages because
I know the clips and the other one. But the thing is too is like okay. So put the corruption, the collusion, everything aside, right? You put all that to the side, bro. There was not even a crash report. There was
nothing.
No report. 500 days for a report, and he goes, "We do the best that we can."
Yeah. Okay.
Sir,
What
sir, take all the seats.
And that's for a Boston police officer.
What do you mean?
Of a Boston police officer.
A Boston police officer.
Yeah.
Wait until they ask me. Oh, I can't wait for that, Dennis.
Well, I mean,
you mean Cora?
Cora.
Cora?
Funny, like they have no vet records from the Alberts. Nothing.
No. They have no owner's name, address, nothing. It's just a faux Chloe.
Microchip to Chloe. Like even if they had a microchip number and at least they had like a number that matched something from the Alberts like one time, it'd be different. But they have nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, we're gonna shut our pie holes and watch some Microdots. If you guys are not subbed to Microdots, which I know you guys are, go over and sub to him. Richie is the man.
All right.
You gotta understand something, dude. Microdots is a fucking force. Make no mistake that if this dude gets a hold of you, bro, once he picks up that set, he's not letting go.
Everything we experience is part of a chain. Every moment preceded by another. That's why in criminal investigations, detectives begin at the moment the crime occurred and work backward, piecing together what led up to it. The closer an event in time and space to what happened, the more critical it becomes. In the Reed case, there exists a rare and invaluable piece of evidence. The waterfall video. A 75-minute continuous recording capturing the victim and the small group of people he interacted with before suffering fatal injuries. Rather than analyze its contents fully, investigators treated it as little more than a tool to tally Karen's drinks. Had they truly wanted to solve the crime, they would have done exactly what we are about to do.
You're on mute. What happened?
I just say that. I want to reiterate what Richie said at the beginning of this video. Do not contact anybody in this video.
No, we do not harm, call, nothing.
Do not call, do not message, do not contact them, okay?
Yeah. Stop going real life.
Yeah, like the way this is what EDB says. Internet, stop interneting. Stop interneting, okay? Like don't do that. But I just wanted to reiterate before we went any further. So, all right, here we go.
It's nearly 2 minutes to midnight. At the waterfall bar, the Albert and McCabe party decide it's time to leave. They gather their belongings and start moving towards the door. Chris Albert is being playful with Jen McCabe, hiding her jacket behind his back. He hugs his niece Caitlin goodbye, since he is not attending the after party.
It's so clear.
John is facing the bar, attending to the check. Karen is engaged in conversation with Karina. Karina and husband Nick have remained supportive of her innocence since the beginning. On the date this occurred, they had known both John and the McCabes for years.
Why couldn't we see this
As
video?
Brian Albert, his brother, Selectman Chris Albert, and ATF agent Brian Higgins move towards the exit. An interesting exchange occurs. We will watch the next 20 seconds uninterrupted, then break it down frame by frame. Let's watch again, looking closer, and try to determine what exactly is happening. Brian Higgins is looking in John's direction. Chris Albert says something to sister-in-law, Nicole, as she steps towards the door. Daughter Caitlin Albert is closest to the exit. Brian Albert enters frame right. Brian and Nicole continue. We see Higgins focused, like a laser beam on John. And Chris Albert's attention has now shifted directly onto Higgins, appearing to sense what he is about to do. Higgins goes to raise his arm and shout to the victim, but before he can even bring it above his waist, Chris Albert aggressively grabs his forearm, preventing it from happening. The significance of Chris Albert's actions cannot be overstated. They reveal clear prior knowledge, an unmistakable anticipation of hostility directed towards John. There is simply no other valid way to explain how Chris would know what Higgins was about to do before he did it. I'm not suggesting anyone intended to kill John, only that there had to have been prior discussion, if not some form of coordinated plan to confront him. Now, we can operate under the assumption that these three men know something about John's future that we do not. Chris grabs Higgins by the arm, turning him back around to face him directly. This unexpected outburst from his brother catches Brian's attention. And Higgins, whipping his head toward Chris, seems just as taken aback by the sudden hostility as we are. Notice that Chris is grasping Higgins' shirt so tightly that you can see tension in the fabric. And as much tension on his face. Chris pushes Higgins' arm down to his side. He fixes him with a hard, unflinching stare. Chris releases his grip. Higgins turns his head toward Brian, deferring to his authority and seeking his approval. But Chris steps squarely in front of Higgins and puts both of his hands on him again. Higgins is rattled. Brian raises his palms facing upward, a universal gesture of confusion, questioning Chris's protest. Higgins continues to fix his gaze on John, peering over Chris's right shoulder. Meanwhile, Chris stands in a posture strikingly similar to that of a bouncer stepping in to defuse a confrontation. Higgins steps back and shifts his focus again to Chris, prompting Chris to release his grip on Higgins' left arm for the second time. Higgins stares blankly. The two men exchange a few words as Chris gestures towards the exit. Chris is trying to assert control over the situation. However, both men turn their attention to Brian Albert as he intervenes. Brian challenges Chris's position with his voice and body, causing Chris to throw up his arms in frustration. There's clearly a disagreement between the Albert brothers. It appears that Chris either disapproved of Higgins confronting John altogether, or he was uncomfortable with him doing it so publicly. I lean towards the latter. Ultimately, however, it is Brian who holds authority and makes the final decisions. Chris
Big
is
Brian A.
overruled by his older brother. Higgins has the green light and is allowed to continue. Chris submits, but is still clearly on edge. As the brothers settle the matter with a few final words, Higgins presses on, shifting his focus back to John. Even with reduced resolution and a tight zoom, Higgins's agitation is unmistakable. He appears to be incensed.
His
Clearly
eyes are
gesturing.
black.
Let's go.
Yep.
He briefly makes eye contact with Brian Albert, puts his hand to his forehead. Chris guides Higgins towards the door, touching his back, using his body as a physical barrier. But Higgins isn't done. Chris watches him closely. Higgins remains preoccupied with John, while Chris maintains a stance resembling someone preventing a confrontation. Pay close attention to the next sequence of frames. You'll see Chris appear to say something to Higgins, likely a command such as go or okay. In response, Higgins shows clear defiance, stepping past Chris and openly calling out to John in full view of everyone. Here we go. Chris speaks and puts his hand on Higgins' back to guide him out for the second time. Now, Higgins will react defiantly, ignore Chris, step past him and attempt to get John's attention vocally and by waving and pointing. Higgins defies Chris's instruction to get going. Chris is not happy with this. His stare is ice cold and locked on Higgins.
He was
Higgins
pissed.
sidesteps Chris and is animated. Then Chris turns to look at John to see what his reaction is.
He's like, let's go.
But John, still dealing with paying his tab, has seen nothing. Not yet.
And you didn't say goodbye to John, right?
I don't think I said goodbye to anybody.
And you didn't talk to him about coming over to 34th Fair View.
No.
Neither Brian
Fucking
Hayes,
liar.
Chris Albert, or Brian Albert ever acknowledged what we are seeing with our own eyes. Now, picking up exactly where we left off, there's a few things that happen worth pointing out. First, we'll focus on Higgins. Let's watch it at normal speed, then take it frame by frame. And we'll sync it with a close-up of John to gauge his reaction. Now is a crucial moment to remind you. It's 11:58 p.m. In about 30 minutes, John will be fatally injured. Cue the tape. In 3, 2, 1. Let's watch it again, slow it down, and look a wee bit closer. Higgins is desperately trying to get John's attention, but John still has his back turned. By the time John turns to look, Higgins has shifted his gaze to Brian Albert, likely pointing at Brian while telling John to go to his home at 34 Fairview Road. Then, as Higgins turns back toward John, he sees that John has already looked away, prompting Higgins to abort the next hand gesture he was just about to make. Higgins looks and sees members of the band carrying equipment out, then steps back to give them space to pass. Then, he finally makes direct eye contact with John. He points outside, telling John to come to Brian Albert's home. His posture rigid, and each motion he makes is laced with tension.
Yep.
John says something back to him, then glances over to Matt, who seems to have also witnessed the interaction. Consider how determined Higgins was to deliver the message to John.
John's
He
smirking
endured
like
a
this
tense
motherfucker.
confrontation with Chris Albert, made multiple unsuccessful attempts to catch John's attention, and deliberately lingered behind the rest of his group, refusing to leave until he was absolutely certain the message had been received. Karen and Karina were so deeply engaged in conversation that they remained completely unaware of everything that had just unfolded around them. John is smiling. Whatever message Higgins was trying to send, it clearly didn't land with the weight he intended. John appears relaxed and confident, an important detail, as this reflects his mindset just before he would enter 34 Fairview Road.
Yep.
There he goes.
John leans over to Matt, who is just out of view, likely making another comment about the outburst.
Drinking his Crystal Light.
Then appears to say something about it to Chris Albert and Jen McCabe, before he is interrupted by the bartender to sign the check.
So sad, Bob. So sad.
In exactly 22 minutes, sent from the crime scene, Higgins texts John a message that, viewed in context, takes on a sinister tone.
Got him.
That text, combined with the footage we've just reviewed, should have made Brian Higgins the primary suspect of John's murder. We've established that Brian Higgins and Chris Albert seemed to have prior knowledge of a confrontation with John. But for that to be true, we would expect to see some evidence of it earlier in the night. Now, we will rewind the tape 9 minutes to find just that.
Dude, he's amazing.
Playing grab ass. Richie's so talented.
It's getting late and the bar will be closing soon. John is standing here with Karen, who has her back facing us. They are speaking to Jen McCabe. Brian Albert and Brian Higgins are standing here and appear relaxed. Roll the film, please. Chris Albert approaches Brian and Higgins. Everything seems normal at first.
He's so butthurt.
They smirk. The three men's body language changes. They speak closely and glance towards John and Karen. Chris looks directly. Then he pivots back, engaging in conversation with more discretion than before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pieces of shit.
Look at Brian. Brian's like,
Yep. He loves fighting. He's a bad guy.
Chris leans in to listen to Brian.
They are plotting
Chris
his death.
gestures towards them with his hand. They become more excited. Brian whispers into Chris's ear. There's no way to know exactly what these three men were discussing. However, their body language is consistent with precisely the kind of interaction one might expect to precede Brian Higgins' taunting just 9 minutes later.
Hold on.
It's 11:30. The man at the center of your screen is one Brian Higgins. The surveillance camera detects the infrared light emitted by his iPhone's True Depth camera, which is used for Face ID. This is Officer John O'Keefe. He would be nearly dead in about 1 hour, sustaining fatal injuries that the most credentialed experts determined were not from a vehicle.
breaking my heart.
Across
Yep.
the table is Karen Reed. She is the girlfriend of John O'Keefe, and also the woman that Brian Higgins has been obsessed with for weeks up until this point.
Yep.
However, she had cut off communication with him roughly a week earlier and has completely
See ya.
ignored his presence since arriving at the bar.
Called Ghost.
Fucking weirdo.
Say hello, shake your hand, give you a hug.
No, she did not.
No, she didn't do any of those things, did she?
No.
It's like you didn't even exist.
Both
She
Brian
didn't want
Higgins
you.
and Brian Albert have been drinking all day long.
She woke up.
The
We'll
hangover.
get
The
closer and
hangover
watch
happened.
as Higgins repeatedly steals glances at Karen. She is standing here.
Trash.
In 1 minute and 35 seconds, he will finally break down and text her. Leading up to that moment, we'll see him look in her direction at least 3 times. 1. 2. 3.
He was obsessed.
At 11:32,
he was a stage
the
5.
weight of Karen's indifference becomes unbearable. He gives in to temptation. In a whiskey-fueled haze, he removes his phone from the front pocket of his sweatshirt, composing a juvenile message designed to nudge her into interacting with him. It doesn't matter that John O'Keefe is standing right there, a few feet away from him. Higgins is determined to get attention from Karen, whatever the consequences may be. From this point forward, Higgins can be seen frequently checking his phone, presumably awaiting Karen's response. But that response would never come, surely adding to his humiliation and anger.
Right? Absolutely. It's Feral Friday, Scott. Ivy in the club.
At 10:54, Karen and John enter the bar. On the surface, everything appears normal, but there are already subtle signs foreshadowing the darkness this night is destined to bring. Brian Albert leans closely into Higgins to make a comment, seemingly about Karen, since she's standing right there and just walked in. Then Higgins glances at John. He comments to Brian, and Brian leans back in to say something in return. Higgins shakes his head and laughs. Higgins points to Brian, requesting to step away for a private word. Higgins signals, "Over here." Not even Brian's wife, Nicole, should hear this. Higgins leans in very closely to Brian's ear. What subject matter requires this level of secrecy?
I don't really think Coco knows as much as they think she
The
does.
discussion continues.
Right. She's an abused
They
wife,
seem
in my
very
opinion.
excited and animated.
Hey, Crafty Chris.
They're hyped. Hi,
yeah.
Crafty Chris, my work wife. Hey, baby.
Higgins looks at Karen. Repeatedly. He can't seem to stop himself from watching her. Meanwhile, John appears to be oblivious to whatever is developing around him.
He makes my skin crawl. He's that guy, you know?
I've got bugs right now.
Yeah.
The two men touch hands in agreement.
Ew, I've never seen this part, like a lot of this.
Higgins taps Brian's arm, requesting he step away once again to discuss something sensitive.
This tells me that Richie
And back to the corner they go.
literally every
Higgins
guest
asks
over and over.
questions, and Brian gives answers.
We'll take him to my house and fuck him up. Row up. Richie is amazing.
Guys, find his Patreon.
Yeah, hold on. Once you stop this, we'll tell them. Hey, you guys, me and Kelly are both members of Microdots over at Patreon. You can go over there and support him, and he does early drops and he interacts with the audience and everything. Five, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And you get early access to the videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I go over there to Patreon and support our boy because he is so talented and one of the nicest guys. And this is my little booger.
It's my baby.
Yeah,
Squishmallow.
say it. No, say what you normally say. All right, this kid's being wild. I'll be right back.
Like and subscribe. Sherry
No,
D said
say
something
it.
earlier, and I wanted to touch on that.
Like and subscribe.
Sherry,
Thank
I
you.
said your name, and freaking Siri decided to go crazy. So basically, when you said that he got the phone number, hey, Kevin Kev,
Hey,
when he got
Kev.
um
Hold on one second. My kid's like
on that
driving me.
day, they tell you that, but then also, if you remember, they say that, oh, well, Chris and Julie text John about being on his yard. Well, obviously they didn't, because if he did, they wouldn't have to give the number that day. You know what I mean? Chris
Really sad. Right.
And then they said, oh yeah, he got the number. You know, we texted him these pictures because he was Nevercracker or whatever, and we were on his lawn. Well, how did he get those pictures to him?
How about the pictures when he was away in like Aruba, or not Aruba? I said that because it's on the top of my head, but when he was away and the Chris and what's his fugly wife's there?
Yeah,
Julie Albert. Yeah, they went over his fence and someone took a picture of them in front. And they were like, "Oh, we're on your yard." Huh? Like, how old are you?
And he's like, "I'll book your yard up. You don't get over here." How the hell did he get those pictures to John if he did not get that number until that day?
Right. I think Julie ended up having it because she had it from like one of the neighbors or whatever, but like why wouldn't he have gotten John's number from her?
She said it was from
It is so sad what we just watched. Okay, it is so sad what we just watched. I've never seen a lot of that detail of them, like they were literally like hunting him.
Oh,
why? Like, listen, Higgins, get some game. You'll be able to get some pussy. Like, go do something with yourself. Karen was already with somebody.
So you guys know,
whether she was.
Nan donated $3,500 to the defense fund to help Higgins get some game. So we feel like it's
fired.
So if anybody wants to donate like $50 or $35, just put in there for Higgins to get some game, and then put our names, Kelly and Annie.
I mean, he's for somebody. Karen didn't want him. Karen did not want him. He was, Lucas was like, he's a relationship guy. Listen, Karen didn't want him. She was just trying to get some attention because the guy that she loved and was with was not treating her the way she needed to be treated. And she was just looking for some attention. That's all. And then she was like, you know what? This guy's going to be a problem. He's a stage 5 clinger. And she got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, that was it. Like, she owed him nothing. They had been texting for like 3 days.
It wasn't even like,
he's a weirdo.
It was the grossest, longest, boringest text I've ever heard. But it made things make sense. I mean, things that didn't make sense prior to me came together with all those texts being read.
Well, I mean, I heard them last year. Brian Higgins read them out. Yeah. It's like deuces. She was like, fuck out of here.
He didn't read all of them, though. He cherry picked them. They had cherry picked ones they want. So there's a lot of those we didn't hear.
Alan's like, we're reading all these motherfuckers. Okay. We are reading everyone.
27 pages. Take your time. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, her ego needed a little stroking. Like, do I still got it? Do the guys still want me? And she was like, hey, you want it? You know what I mean?
We're all in our 40s here. Trust me. Like every one of us wants to make sure that
we've all done it. We've all done it.
I mean, we're all people because we don't need it, but
yeah, I mean, I don't need to do it, but I have.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. A circle. Yeah. Like that song.
I said
Oh
that
my
to Zach
You did.
today. I was
You
like,
did.
check yes, or do you love me? Do you love
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I have secondhand embarrassment. Like all she had to do, hey, you don't come right. She wasn't gonna come out like right out and be like, hey, you want to fuck?
Ordinary should be partial immunity, not even full immunity.
Right.
Partial.
Yo, feeling rejected is like the worst thing for a woman. You could be gorgeous, you could be not gorgeous, and a man can feel you can feel rejected by a man, and that's a horrible feeling. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna go stroke your ego with a downgrade because he'll be appreciative that you're even talking to him.
I'm not making this for her. She was the aggressor. She started these conversations.
She was the aggressor. I like her style.
So that is on her. I'm not making excuses for her. However, he got creepy. Like,
yeah,
creep.
Yeah, like what do you want from me? Like nothing, sir. I don't want anything from you. I just want you to like tell me I'm pretty and buy me a drink and like you know what I mean? Like she didn't want him to like marry her. Yeah, and he drove by into that whole weed whacker thing. Like that was weird.
That's what started it. That's why she reached out to him because
right here, exactly. Rejection from a man's heartbreaking, especially when you put so much effort into the relationship. Fucking preach, Melanie, preach. And so she was like, okay, well, you don't want me. I'm gonna go prove other guys do, and that's what she did. Good for her.
That morning, I mean, she even said, I don't even care so much about the cheating.
Right. Like it's like his listen, I know that he passed away. Okay. And it's very sad. And I am pro justice for John O'Keefe. But I will speak for myself. I've been in like situationships and relationships and stuff where you get taken for granted. They stop treating you correctly. And then you're in love and you're like, well, maybe if I just stay, he'll start treating me better. And then it gets worse and worse and worse, or it'll get better than worse, then better than worse. And then you find yourself in a position where you're like, wow, you just don't respect me whatsoever. So you hightail it out of there, or you find a Higgins to be like, you're so pretty. You have beautiful lips. You know what I mean? Like you find a Higgins.
I think she did feel like that.
Understandably.
She gave as much as she could to the kids, to him, to the extended family. She included them. But I mean, I want to know what was going through Paul's mind at the end of court, because he was
and Peggy. They all were looking like, are you fucking shitting me?
He looked like he was in tears.
Yeah.
I mean,
but like but Jen McCain, like that didn't send red flags.
No, it should have.
The first trial, it should have.
I mean, but I'm saying, it should have. But when you're looking at Jim McCain, like they all knew the FBI came and that she lied to them. You know what I mean? She called Peggy. They knew that stuff. So some of that stuff wasn't a big deal. But to hear and then to watch the waterfall and to see all that stuff today, and watching what Yuri was really trying to hide and like not give up.
It was effective.
It was a smack on the face to him. And I personally think that you're fine. I personally think that it's going to I want to know what's going through his head. I want to know what she's talking about. I feel like John was using a name for the kids. She loved John.
She loved John. Listen, and he probably loved her too, but he was like stressed out, and he like guys deal with things different. Some guys are just not relationship material, and you either stick by them or you fucking go find one that's going to suit you. And they were both in really bad positions, and it wasn't working out. They were both stressed out to the gills.
That right there.
Yep.
That. Everyone kept asking today, why are we reading these? Why are we reading them? And that was exactly where they had to prove that she wasn't jealous. She wasn't being jealous. There was no reason for her to just swim in reverse.
I'm not trying to be mean, but I was saying in chat earlier, like a lot of times when guys cheat, it's usually a downgrade because it's easy beatings, right? And the fucking what was the Sullivan girl? Like she's not like a Marietta. She's not a 2 on the scale, but she's not Karen either. You know what I'm saying? So
it takes
she
a lot.
was.
Karen is damn pretty.
marshmallows.
Hold on, I have to go get my son a snack out.
Go find the marshmallows, Mom. It takes care. It takes. I mean, it takes a lot for people to want to. Who is Gay Jeff? Who is Carrie with an I? I believe it's Carrie Roberts. Yes. Because she was friends with them, both of them. But who is Gay Jeff? I don't know who Gay Jeff is personally. I know that Auntie Deb has picked up on that and has taken his own version and made it into all kinds of stuff. So I can't tell you who all that is. But I did want to show you guys this. This is funny. So one of my besties from back in the day sent me this. Hold on.
My boy, the kid is like, he runs me.
Hey, somebody has
He
to.
runs me. Yeah, I know, right? Someone has to tame this beast.
Here we go. I want to
Bad
show this.
habits become, toxic behavior. Fucking right. You're right.
All right.
Hey, good song. Good song,
Why
good
is it-
song.
It's gonna.
If anybody wants to come up, I'm putting the link in the chat. No, I can't. I think my mother, when she was here, ate his
I'm not going to wait
marshmallows.
for the objection.
All right, hold on. Let me go back.
Are you kidding?
A little bit. Like a little bit.
Like a little bit.
A half day. I got to get down to tennis courts Friday. I'll allow it. Sustained. Jury, do you want to get up and stretch? Stretch. I'm not going to wait for the objection. Ask it differently.
Look at the hands.
The nails are.
Judge Kanomi, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, Charlie. All right, did you hear them talking about banging? Banging! And like, they were trying to hook up and right from the jump. Like, I don't even know these terms. So I'm bored. This is what I do when I'm bored. I'll allow it.
So,
It's going to be a half day today.
You can't make this
Half
shit
day. I
up.
got to get down.
so one of the things about that, especially that video itself, how she has the eyes and she's upside down. It was my birthday. It's like 10 years. I can't believe it was so long ago. But when I was going through a divorce, it was my birthday, and I lived in Tampa, and my sister and my Amy, you asked. I do think that was Carrie Roberts with the I. I think she just spelled it wrong. But my sister and I were like, I want to go to Orlando for the weekend. For my birthday weekend. She was like, okay. So we get her and then our friend Amy, who we call Oodle. There's a reason we call each other, all of us call each other Oodle. And when we see each other, we'll go oodle doodle doodle doo, oodle oodle oodle, and that's because my mom.
You guys are so cool.
I said this in my mom's.
I love that.
I said this in my mom's her eulogy, that we had, names for friends, and it was the reason we started with the Oodle is because we were making fun of my mom, and my mom thought it was hilarious, but she had literally had her chihuahuas in her face, so she was going oodle doodle 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 doo, oodle doodle doo. So then we started doing it to each other in each other's faces. So then that became the nickname for each other. But so Amy met us there, and her boyfriend came too. We all had separate rooms. And I was in my room, and I think I got mad at my sister for something. I don't remember. I was upset with my sister for something. And so Amy came in my room to cheer me up. Amy and Lucky is her husband now. They came in my room to cheer me up. And Lucky threw those on his chin, got upside down on the bed, and had a sheet, a blanket over his face, and he would go, so. And I peed myself. I've never laughed. I mean, it was like the night that we took the pictures. That was how hard I laughed at that.
That is funny. I don't
And it
know if
was
my sister is still in here, but I'm so much younger than them. Like between me and her, she's the next one, twin, and we're 9 years apart. It's on the bed, bro. And we would always do that. We put like the things or
if you know who
so
has it,
funny.
go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Underneath the towel. I forget. I'm distracted. Who wants to come up and hang out with us? Talk about. So wait, what was your weekly takeaway of everything? Like, what's something that really, aside from Bukaki, because we all know that was like a humdinger. What's something that something else that stood out to you?
Jessica Hyde admitting that her report and all that stuff was like the stuff that she was hiding from that report. And when she turned around and looked at Hank and said, "I'm sorry."
Right.
That's the one that got me when she looked at Hank and mouthed, "I'm sorry" at the end.
Right. Well, she's a piece of shit. She should not have a job either anymore. Like if you're gonna be a paid thug, make sure it's not broadcast to the world. Right.
You want a sweet, funny mom story? Amy, you have any sweet, funny mom stories you want to share?
I love my mother. She's like one of my best friends. Wait, my sister's here? Is she really? God, do I have stories about her? Me and her, we slept in the same bed forever,
Amen.
and now we call each other like forever co-sleepers because me and her slept in the same bed forever. I was like their little like rag doll. I went everywhere with them. And they used to make me do like
Sherry,
gymnastics.
we're friends on Facebook, I thought, right? Sherry, if we're friends on Facebook, share it, send it to my messenger.
Alan Jackson.
I think
right,
we are.
Connor Keith. Right. How about the trooper that did phone extractions that didn't testify last time? And he was at the fucking autopsy.
He's the one that Carrie said freaked out when he said Keith and Prince interviewed you, and she said, "Did Keith write that? Did Keith write that report?" And he goes, "No."
Connor Keith.
And she was like, "No, it doesn't matter." And then she went off, but she freaked out at first about him writing that report. So I want to know what that was all about. Like,
yeah. Hold on, Shari. So Jessica Hyde, when Alessi was up there cross-examining her, he got her to admit that she doesn't really know whether that Google search was made or not. It was made because the tool of the company that she fucking works for, she was the director of this company at some point, Axiom. The Axiom tool still shows the 228 timestamp, but she used a different tool's data to fit the Commonwealth's narrative of that. No, it didn't happen. And then she looked at Hank and in the microphone goes, "I'm sorry."
Like,
it was disgusting.
That was the one. That was my biggest thing today. Like, that made me like, holy crap! Like, why would you act like that? Let me see if I can find it. What was?
I hate wearing glasses. I'm so blind though.
Mine. My glasses are progressive glasses, and so they're far away. And if I wear them too long, I
wear contacts 24 hours a day, and I only wear glasses when I can't get the contacts in. But I have bifocal contacts. You have to understand, I'm in front of like 4 screens all day long, and I'm working on computers all day long, and it really affects your eyes. So I have like minimal lighting, and I have like blue lights or the blue screens over them to take some pressure, so it takes some of the off the eyes. But I have very bad eyesight, and so I have to have something on.
Aiden said, I am never calling this place X, and I am never calling Chloe Cora.
Wait, do you guys want to watch the thing of Jess Machado from today when she was talking about what she saw with Bukaki?
Yeah, I can play that.
Did everybody see that? Yeah, do you want to play that?
Because we came in like right at the end.
We did, yeah. Hey, I've been working on these brows for years. Thank you, girl, for noticing. Thank you, bitch. There we go.
I got it. Is it playing?
No.
I'm like, I couldn't hear when what's her face was playing.
This in now, since all right, hi besties. I'm going to start this a little bit earlier than I normally would. I'm not even going to wait until I get on the highway, only because I know you guys are on a lunch. So it'd be great to get this in now, since I'm a half day and you guys have nothing to do. So welcome to 24 on 24. I'm Jess Machado. I give you a rundown of all things Karen Reed related from our court proceedings of the day. Today is day 13. It's Friday. I'm a little bummed because I jumped out of there soon, so you guys may know the answer to this, but I did hear Judge Cannoni asked to meet with the attorneys to talk about scheduling. So I don't know if that was today's schedule or schedule overall. We obviously picked up today with Yuri Buchanan, and about today, this might be less than 24 on 24, but there was a lot. So one thing that happened today that I will share with you is that there was a lot of conversation amongst media outlets today about the trial, about the witnesses, recent things, and I really feel so lucky to be a part of this because, first of all, these are, yes, legacy media outlets, which by default I can't fangirl because legacy media equals bad, but
Amen.
You know, it's hard to feel that way when you are working alongside of some of these people like Sue O'Connell and Sue from Dateline and Christina Rex. And I love when we have the opportunity, like we did this morning. It was a little late to get start. We were all in the room and we could all start talking about what we see and what we're hearing and what our observations are. And like I said yesterday, I don't get a chance to look at everybody's pages, especially during the day. So it's nice to hear some of the feedback and things that people are hearing and like talking theory and stuff. And we really talked a lot about that at the end last year. I remember we were touching base every day about where we thought things were going. And I really it's great. I'm not going to share their thoughts. I share mine and what they think is their thing, but I'm just saying that it's really great to talk and hear theories and, hear what people are experiencing from their perspective. So with that being said, some of us are definitely in agreement that we are seeing jurors express themselves more. We saw multiple times today jurors laughing with testimony between Jackson and Buchanan, especially when, again, I use the word extract because that's what it feels like. It feels like a tooth extraction. You know, Jackson is trying to get out of Yuri all of this information about Michael Proctor and the bag. And, you know, this was an interesting point because not only did they have the jurors' attention completely during this exchange, but there were the most jurors making the most facial expressions during this exchange. And so when they were talking about the evidence bag and Buchanan not giving up who he gave the evidence bag to, and he remembering that he gave it, he remembered today that at the time he knew what details to give the person. And I think the way that Jackson was explaining this, not explaining it, but asking questions, it really painted a visual, and you could see on the faces of some jurors really looking over towards, and I'm thinking of two jurors in particular, really looking over to Buchanan for an explanation. I think they really wanted him to explain what he was talking about when he said, I remember giving the details about where the pieces of evidence were found, but I don't remember who it was I gave it to. And I felt like they were longing for a response from him. And I think that
doesn't make
Jackson
sense.
painted a really great picture of that scenario of how could you remember that you handed.
Dude, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. How in
there's
the
only
are
4
you,
people.
what?
He only has 4 people in there he can give it to.
4 people that's under you, and you don't know who you talked to, but you know what you said. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Like he made himself look like an incompetent dingbat that was being evasive.
Then he
Like,
kept saying, well, I don't. Well, and then when he said, I gave it to him, and Jackson called him out on him. Who's him?
him?
Oh, I don't know him. It was them. I gave it to them.
Right.
I don't know who them is. Well, like, come on, dude. Like,
Are they allowed to say that he was fired because of the case during summation?
Proctor, yes.
Like at the end? There.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, they've already said that he was fired. They said it in the opening.
Right. But they didn't say that he was fired because of his behavior in the case. He just said former trooper. He got fired, but they didn't say why.
He did say that he was fired for his actions in the case.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear that. My bad. I'm talking shit. I don't know.
Don't talk shit.
I'm talking shit. It's Feral Friday. I'll talk all the shit I want.
This to someone and you didn't know that it was Michael Proctor, and how do you not recognize the handwriting on this bag? And I think there was an objection from Hank at the time, and it just they're just not getting out of Yuri what he wants. Or maybe he is. Maybe he wants the jury to see that he isn't giving straight answers. You know what I mean? I don't know, but we saw a lot of interaction, a reaction to that chunk of testimony. There was all eyes on the screens when the lights went off and these text messages went up. Now, I think it seemed a little bit more daunting, to be honest with you, when they had these packets, and Bev Canoni's displeasure with the reading of these text messages was palpable. It was very, very clear. You could see it, I'm sure. She did not want all of these text messages to be read out loud. And I think she said, you're not going to have him read these out loud, all of these, are you? And Jackson was like, yes, I am. And it didn't help that at that time when that was happening, and I don't know how much you guys can see on screen, but at that time, somebody had printed out all of these things in one pack, I think. And I don't know who it was, but I know who could see it. And I was like, that looks like a lot. We're going to be here a long time. But what I determined is it looks as if each screenshot was a page, and it was probably an inch and a half thick. So, I mean, we went through them. Obviously, you're watching, but it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. I caught some people falling asleep, not jurors, but every juror was watching. Surprisingly, note taker juror was not taking notes, which makes me believe that if this was entered, it wasn't entered into evidence, right? This isn't an evidence piece. I think maybe he thinks he's going to be able to refer back to these, which may send note taker juror into a complete frenzy, because clearly they are documenting every single solitary thing. But I didn't see any note, maybe one time a note being taken. Their eyes were on the screen, and I'm wondering what that's going to be like if later on they think they're going to get a copy of these and can refer back to them, and they're like, yeah, no, you don't get them, because I don't think they're evidence, right? So maybe I'm wrong on that, but note taker I couldn't believe my eyes. It looks as if this person has taken a full notebook worth of notes.
Oh shit.
No, I don't think it's you. I think it's the computer.
Oh, my bad. I just knocked over my mic.
Over the jury room deliberating.
She goes in and out.
We're going to have multiple notebooks refer back to sounds to me that is not an alternate. Molecular juror seems so detailed with everything. And
Thank God.
I wonder how that's going to play out later on in the jury room. We saw a really great interaction at my bar with 3 jurors. Surprisingly, this is also the same area where I saw some chatting last time in the beginning, but the juror, uninterested juror, had a juror on their right who said something to them, and uninterested juror was losing their minds laughing. Their face was so red, and leaned forward, grabbed the water, was drinking the water while holding in the laugh. The juror who made her laugh was laughing, and then the juror on the side, which is Jenner juror, was like looking for like what was going on, and uninterested juror told her, and they were like all laughing. But uninterested juror's face got really red. I felt self-conscious because I was like, were they looking at me because I had my head tilted to the side and I was leaning over to the side. Like, I could not just imagine what they were laughing at, but it was pretty funny. And I was like, they're bonding, guys. Like, our jurors are bonding. Like, you love to see it. So that was happening. Then we saw more jurors reacting, and I was speaking with another member of the press about there were a couple that they're just there. They're reacting. They're not hiding it. I said this yesterday. They're warming up, and they're reacting. Now, I've always said this about smirky juror, where I believe smirky juror smirks, like smirky gonna smirk. And I have watched during non-defense cross. So I've watched the Commonwealth asking questions, and I don't necessarily see as much smirking. But another member of the press says they believe that that's just their face. And now I said this before, I have to go back and look, but I'm telling you, aside from the smirking, which may be their face, they still shake their head no. They still put their head down and write notes, like at pivotal times that I feel like benefit Karen. So I think we're in agreement on that, but whether or not this is an actual all the time facial expression, the verdict, no pun intended, is out on that. Also, I was observing today when some of these text messages, I don't know, I'm sure maybe Aiden will be able to tell you, whoever it is that's sitting on the side of Peggy O'Keefe, that is not her husband. There is a woman there who looks like an older version of, what the heck is her name? My husband loves her. Sydney Sweeney. And don't get on me for that. I think she's pretty and she looks like an older version of Sydney Sweeney. She was shaking her head no to many of these text messages. I think I memorialized 2 of them in the thread, but there were multiple times where she was shaking her head no. The text message that popped up on the screen where Karen was speaking about John and not being fit for it or cut out for raising his niece and nephew, and that he was close with his sibling, it got Peggy O'Keefe to shake her head side to side no as well, or in disgust or what have
Peggy
you.
would know.
Can you pause it? Pause it.
That text message. Interestingly enough, now.
All right, we got to stop it here, okay? Because where the fuck was Peggy and Paul when John was stressed to his gills with these kids, and he had a job and he had these kids, and as a single mother, I love my child more than anything in this world. My son is what my heart looks like from the outside, okay? And your girl gets stressed out, all right? And sometimes girl, you like, I don't care. You can be the best parent, and sometimes you're not in the best of moods, and you're overstimulated, and you're all of these things. It seemed like John liked to drink, right? And he has a relationship, and he has a job, and he has his kids that he didn't like give birth. Well, he doesn't give birth, but you know what I'm saying? He didn't help out.
But he didn't
he loved them.
His sister passed away. He felt a need to take the kids because he was close to his sister. and I don't think that his sister or him were as close to
Yes.
Paul or Peggy, and that's why
Yeah,
he felt
Paul and Peggy were not involved.
right.
So John took them because they were like, no, I'm good. Paul just wanted the fucking insurance money. Just like he tried to sue the waterfall in CF McCarthy's and Karen. He has a civil suit against Karen. He is money hungry. Okay. And if Peggy and Paul do not understand what the fuck happened to John O'Keefe today, there's something wrong. Like there's something else going on. Okay. My heart bleeds
And
for
that
the O'Keefe parents.
call, did you hear that? That 136 phone call today was to Brian Albert.
To Brian Alberts. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it.
The one outside of the PlayStation was to Brian Albert.
Yeah.
So why has he got to call Brian Albert again after he just left the house?
Exactly. And not for nothing, Karen lived with them. Like she had her own home, but she stayed with John and helped him, and she homeschooled them during fucking COVID. She would know if John, it wasn't that he wasn't cut out. He doesn't have that paternal instinct. Like I have nieces and nephews, and I was really good with them. I'm really good with kids. But as soon as I had my son, you just get this like different feeling. Like all these instincts kick in, and you become a parent. But I'll tell you what, like when my son was like a newborn, and I've been with him alone this whole time. I remember like waking up and crying with him, right? So does that make me a bad parent because I was so stressed out and so hormonal and with this little baby by myself, and I'm crying and I'm like, why are you crying? That doesn't make me a bad parent. That makes me fucking normal. That makes me normal.
It makes you a normal person.
Right. And you, like, we all have reasons to be stressed out. Like my son doesn't stress me out. My situation stresses me out sometimes.
Oh, my kids.
Because I gotta work. I gotta do. You just get.
My kids. I'm not gonna lie. It's my kids. They stress me the hell out.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
I love
me.
that child to death, but Declan will wake up and within 5 minutes he has said "mom" 27 times, and I'm like,
right,
stop talking. Like
I don't even talk on the phone because as soon as I get in the phone, this kid's like, mom, and like you've heard me. I'm like, I'm so overstimulated. I gotta go. But it's not his fault. I just like it is what it is. Like life gets hard. And this guy took this on willingly. Those weren't his biological children. Did he love them?
At all. He had no
with
children.
Zero experience. And then Karen comes in the mix. She don't want kids, but she's helping because she loves John. And then that puts a strain in their relationship. No wonder they were fighting all the time. No wonder they're like, she's like, just love me and hug me. And he's like, I'm fucking tired. Right? And then that puts strains in the relationship. And then you start like being bitter toward each other. And you hold on 1 second. My son's coming in. 1 second. I'm all.
Dave, I agree with you completely. Because she did say that she extended it out. She tried hard with the extended family. And you can only do so much.
And not for nothing, Peggy O'Keefe doesn't seem to have the best maternal instincts either. Did you guys notice when she was on the stand, the only person she cried for was her daughter? And then she brought up John, it was nothing. And then she was like, oh, and that one over there, donut face, right? And okay, listen. Donut face. I would never be seen with Paul again. The fact that Erin is going and sitting next to him after he said he never wanted the children that he has, bro, I would have been.
He's paying her ass to do that.
No, I think she's a stupid bitch. I think that stupid bitch. I used to feel bad for her when she like wasn't showing up, and I'm like, wow, she was publicly humiliated. It's to the world. No, she's sitting next to him. She was cheating on you, telling strangers he didn't want to be the father of your children. Like I would have been out of there. I would have went and lived anywhere else but with fucking Paul O'Keefe. He's disgusting.
What was he dressed up for today? Did he think he was taking the stand? Did anybody think anybody was taking the stand but Bukaki? Because I didn't think anybody else was going to. I know Jack.
He'll be on the stand till Wednesday.
Like
hold on. Hold on. I have a huge problem. Hold on.
You're fine. But you got Paul over there in like a tie and like but I did can't help it. My heart hurt for them this afternoon when I saw them, their faces. I mean, I know that everyone, they're not, but they did lose somebody, and I think maybe it's even more so because I've lost my uncle recently, and so when I saw their faces, I just kind of was like, it was almost, I don't know. For me, I felt like they saw something finally for the first time today. I could be wrong. Does anybody else feel that way? Because I could totally be wrong about that. For me, it felt like Paul was like, oh shit. It could also be, we're gonna lose. Thanks, like, screw it up there. But I mean, I personally think that the look on his face, how he had his head hanging down, to me was more of a devastation look. I don't know. What did you guys think? Paul does live with Peggy in Canton, because I believe Aaron kicked his booty right out.
What does Paul have to say? Paul has nothing to say. All he's going to say is Karen was great to my brother. Right, Paul does live with Peggy. He does, but
Yes,
but
John
you're still
and
being
Peggy.
shown with him.
John and Peggy fought over the kids. But Peggy still is there was four custodians of the kids. John was the main custodian, is what it ended up being, but Peggy wanted them at the house, and John fought that.
Well, because he was raised by her, and she's probably a tyrant, right? Who would know better?
I'm not gonna lie though, man. Canton select board meeting. First thing on the agenda. How many more AA meetings apply to the weekly schedule? Because they need a lot more AA meetings going around in there.
Yeah.
The entire town of Canton. They all need an AA meeting. And they need an AA meeting before they come into court, because it was looking scary to me. I mean, and then think about this. Julie was supposed to drive over to their house that morning, right? She drove over to the Albert's house at like 7:30, 8 o'clock to give baby Brian his donuts, because God forbid baby Brian doesn't have his donuts, right? Oh, he just hit live when you heard. I was like, what? But when baby Brian get donuts or whatever, and how did she not? But they had to shove everybody else had to shovel out. Like, how did she not have to shovel out to get over there? It was just, okay, let's get in the car and give baby Brian his birthday donuts. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried this year that baby Brian didn't get his donuts. So nobody said whether he had them or not. I was very sad because I want to make sure baby Brian got his donuts. Yeah, that's how I felt, Dave. I feel like he's defeated, and his eyes are starting to open up maybe a little bit. I hope. I know. Why won't they bring that up though? I don't understand that. There's a whole report that Yuri took about them going 34 Fairview with them. Where is it? I mean, I've seen it, but why isn't it being brought up in court? It doesn't. I don't know. Hey, Spacey Stacy. My computer is playing games tonight. Okay. Well, they bring up surgery. I know they won't. They're not bringing it. Like some of that stuff isn't, and that gets frustrating. Like because we know. I think because we know about it, that makes it even harder because we know about it. But I do feel like O'Hara also was trying to make it sound better today, like or this week when he was on the stand. Like last time he was like, we got there. This time we did this. This time the times changed. He may have got there at 5:24, but they did not start that search because Tully held them off until after 5:40, and then the first one was found at 5:46. So, and that there was five officers that it was him and four other officers that showed up, and he didn't know two of them that came with Tully. So two of them that he didn't know. And I know for a fact, and somebody else, maybe I'm wrong, but somebody else can tell me. I have seen a picture of Brian Higgins standing outside at that team search. I have seen it. I know I've seen it. I don't know where it is, but I've seen it. Yep.
All right. I'm actually. O'Hara looked defeated. Oh, yo, O'Hara wasn't lying for them.
Did you see that picture I was talking about? I know I've seen a picture of Brian Higgins at the team search outside. I know I've seen it. He
sure was.
Did not know.
He sure was.
So,
and Jen McCabe, I found it interesting that Gallagher said that Jen McCabe personally called Lank to come to the Albert House because she had information for him. Get Lank on that stand and roast him. He is a big of a ringleader as Jen McCabe. It is so scary that these people live 20 minutes away and how many times have they done this? Not saying they like killed people, but like they probably done shady shit around Canton and wherever else they touch, you know?
it's been, I mean, their whole lives they've done
their whole
something
life
to it.
Yeah.
I mean, they run that town. They are the people who own that town pretty much. And right now they're getting like it's being stripped away from them right now.
Yeah, dude. And they're never, listen, even if the feds don't swoop in and grab them, they will forever be the people who murdered John O'Keefe. All of them. Thank God. And you know what? I hope they get, I hope that they don't sleep a good sleep for the rest of their life.
I don't think they've slept a good sleep, honestly.
Oh, yes, they have.
I don't
look rested.
Oh, just because she drugs herself. What are you talking about? She had that Zanny water. What are you talking about? She was like,
water. Yeah.
Zanny water.
Yeah.
Every time she took a sip, she was getting more Xanax put in her system. How do I not go up on Jackson?
She wants to fuck him. It is what it is. Oh, you made it though. That's important. I'm happy you're here.
Hi, baby girl.
Hey, my baby girl. Do you want to come up? Actually, I gotta roll soon because Caden is getting real edgy and would like his mommy. So
yeah, it's 8:50 now.
Yeah, we've been on here for Stacy, I didn't see you in here.
Oh yeah,
I hope you're sleepless forever. And you know what? I hope all their Botox wears off and it doesn't work again. And I
Lori
hope
that's what
Lori
happened to
Vallow.
Lori. Have you seen her face? Because everyone,
Lori
even Colby said it. They said, "What's
saying,
wrong with her face? What's wrong with her face?" And he said, "I think her Botox wore off, and that's her child."
Yeah, and Donna Adelson, she looks rough.
Yep.
Listen, I'm 40, right? And I've aged pretty gracefully, right? And like if I get to the point where I feel like I need Botox, your girl will get Botox. However,
I'm 48. I'm 48. I've had Botox
great.
once. I had it 2 years ago, the week before my mom, or 2 weeks before my mom's my mom's funeral. My best friend Christy paid for me to get it because she was like, "I want you to feel good about yourself," and so I did that. And I mean, but it's not something that I feel like I have to, that I have to do.
But like, look at Juno. Wait, who's the chick that attacked Aiden out in front of
Jill?
Jill Daniel. Jill Daniel. Yo, she's 3 years older than me.
She aged just a little bit. She's aged just a little bit
Bro,
in the last couple years.
I look like I could be her daughter. I'm 3 years younger.
Not to be a Debbie Downer, do
Oh,
whatever now after 50. What WTF has happened to me?
Yo, you're beautiful. I have you on Facebook. You are a stunner. I'd hit it. What?
Don't be talking trash about my girls. I don't like when you talk about my girls. Even when you talk
What,
about
your
yourself.
boobies?
No, my girls.
Yeah,
Sherry.
Jill Daniels looks like a leather
Talk
couch.
about herself.
Oh, thank you. All right, I gotta go. My kid is about to throw a night.
Yes.
It's been amazing. Thank you for coming to hang out with us on our Fail Friday. We will be here next Friday, and actually, we'll be here all next week. And I know that all of you guys are going to be in chat with us and do the damn thing and watch some more of this monstrosity.
Happy Mother's Day to
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all of our mommies in the chat.
Yes.
And happy Mother's to all of our dads that take on the mom roles, because that happens too.
Absolutely.
So we love you guys. Oh, it was Natalie said happy birthday.
She's worn and torn. I can't with you, Dave, in the labor reunion. You're my fave.
Natalie said happy Mother's Day or happy birthday. I meant Mother's Day.
Right. All right, guys.
Yeah,
we love you. We will see you bright and early. Actually, court is at 10 on Monday, so I don't know what time we're going to start. I'll have to follow up with.
They usually start
Dylan.
still at 7:30,
Okay.
because they want to get that. They want to get there before they kick them off. 8 o'clock. They're still going to kick them off at 8.
Maybe the buffer zone situation will get situated and we'll be closer to the courthouse with our gear and flags and posters, and everything will be amazing.
I hope by next, middle of next week, that gets.
Okay, Stacy, 7:30. All right, we'll be here at 7:30, girl. I will be here.
Yes,
yeah, I would hit it.
Actually, by the way, I've
Absolutely.
talked to Tracy and I've talked to Dana, and they are going to come on the show sometime. So we're going to get that set up eventually. So
yes, absolutely. All right, guys, I got to go. My kid's having a meltdown. See ya. Bye.